The movie is set in England, during the medieval ages. At the start of the movie, we are introduced to the king's beautiful daughter, Lady Marian. She is inside the royal bathroom, singing beautifully. Just then, her maid Broomhild approaches her and asks her to get ready. When Lady Marian gets up from the bathtub, it is revealed that she is wearing a chastity lock. It turns out that her father, the king, wanted to protect her from evil men, so he safeguarded her assets with the lock. Unfortunately, the key has long been lost, and Marian has been desperately searching for the man who can open her lock. In the next scene, we see a group of men dancing to hip-hop music. One of the dancers sings about how Prince John and his sheriff have taken over England and are imposing heavy and unfair taxes on people. Elsewhere in Khalil prison in Jerusalem, we are introduced to the main character of the movie, Robin Hood. He has been apprehended for fighting in the Crusades and is being taken to the most notorious cell of the prison. There, one of the guards asks him about who sent him there, but Robin refuses to answer. As a result, the guard takes out a tongue loosener and punishes him with it. However, Robin still does not budge. Tired, the guard chains Robin next to a prisoner named Asniz, mentioning that he will be back for interrogation again. After he is gone, the two prisoners introduce themselves and become fast friends. While Robin is in prison for something serious, Asniz is locked up for simply jaywalking. Soon, they come up with a plan to escape and strike the metal bar, which is holding their chains. Luckily, the bar breaks, and they are able to set themselves free. The duo then frees everyone inside the cell, and collectively, all of them escape through the ventilator. In the next scene, Robin and Asniz are on the beach, where Robin expresses his gratitude towards Asniz for helping him escape. As a sign of friendship, he promises to help him in any way possible. Hearing this, Asniz takes out a picture from his pocket, which belongs to his son, Achu. He then hands over the picture of Robin and requests him to look after his son, who is in England. Surprised, Robin asks how Achu ended up in England, to which Asniz replies that he's an exchange student. Being the man of his word, Robin promises to look after Achu and departs the place. However, instead of traveling on a boat like a normal person would, he swims all the way from Jerusalem to England. After reaching, he gets on a horse and proceeds towards his house. Surprisingly, on the way, he sees some soldiers beating an African boy. Robin quickly deduces that it's Achu, as there are no other Africans in the area. He rushes to save the boy, and with his exemplary fighting skills, defeats all the soldiers single-handedly. After this, the two get on the horse and proceed to Robin's home, the Locksley Hall. Sadly, when they reach there, they find the house being towed away by a man. Enraged, Robin confronts the man and asks what's going on. The man simply hands him a scroll, and on reading, Robin finds out that Prince John has confiscated his house for failing to pay taxes on time. Although Robin tries his best to claim that it was impossible for him to pay the taxes, as he was jailed in Jerusalem, the man doesn't listen and takes the house away. As Robin wanders the place dejected, he notices his blind servant, Blinkin. The two express their happiness at meeting each other after long, but soon, Robin gets devastated when he finds out that his father has passed away. To make matters worse, Blinkin mentions that even his mother, brothers, dog, cat and goldfish perished while he was away. As the two continue talking, Blinkin takes out a pendant and hands it over to Robin, mentioning that it was his father's last gift for him. When Robin asks what's inside it, Blinkin replies that it holds the key to the greatest treasure in all the land. After a while, Robin introduces Achu and Blinkin to each other. As the trio is talking, a boy comes running at them from the woods. Being the kind man that he is, Robin asks the boy what's wrong, and the latter replies that he is being chased by the sheriff of Rottingham. In no time, the sheriff arrives with his men and demands the boy back, but Robin refuses to hand him over. As a result, the two get into an altercation, which ends with Robin humiliating the sheriff in front of everyone. Before he sends the group away, he vows to take revenge against Prince John. Later, the sheriff of Rottingham meets Prince John and reveals that Robin is coming after them. Here, we get to know that Prince John is acting as the ruler of the kingdom, as his brother the king has gone to fight in the Crusades. However, instead of being a just and kind ruler like his brother, he is imposing heavy taxes on people for his own benefit. Expectedly, the news scares John, and he starts brainstorming ways to tackle the situation. When he finds no solution, he heads to the dungeons to take advice from his witch, Latrine. John briefs everything to his witch and asks her for a way to defeat Robin. Latrine agrees to help, but in return, she asks John to assist her hook up with her crush, the sheriff. Although the prince is sure that the sheriff will never get close to the witch, he still agrees. Elsewhere, as Robin and his crew are traveling to the castle, they are stopped on a bridge by a giant named Little John. Robin demands to let them through, but Little John claims that they firstly have to pay the toll tax. When Robin refuses, the two get into a stick fight. Despite his small frame, Robin manages to defeat the giant and pushes him into the nearby river, which barely has any water. Surprisingly, as Little John does not know how to swim, he starts drowning in the puddle. At first, Robin is taken aback, but when Little John continues to struggle, he helps him up. With this, he wins the giant's trust and makes him a part of the team. Before leaving, Little John calls his best friend, Will, who happens to be a dagger expert. He can slice through anything mid-air with his insane dagger techniques. After the introductions, the group of 5 start their journey to Prince John's castle. Meanwhile, Prince John and the sheriff are having a party inside the castle. Soon, John's niece, Lady Marian, joins the duo and observes the celebrations. The sheriff, who is infatuated by Marian's beauty, immediately starts flirting with her, but the latter pays him no attention. Just then, Robin barges inside with a dead hog on his shoulder and drops it on the royal table. John and the sheriff are left furious by the intrusion, but surprisingly, Lady Marian is impressed. Robin then introduces himself to Marian and kisses her on the hand. This enrages the sheriff, and he challenges Robin to a fight. Expectedly, Robin cleans the floor with the sheriff, so the prince is forced to call upon his guards. Robin fights valiantly for some time, but he is eventually outnumbered. When all hope seems to be lost, Robin's gang barges through the door and starts attacking the guards. In no time, they subdue all the bad guys, impressing the entire crowd, including Lady Marian. Before leaving, Robin warns Prince John to reduce the taxes, or else he will eliminate him the next time. In the next scene, Little John gathers some men to fight for the cause, but Robin fails to inspire them with his boring speech. Instead, he makes them fall asleep. Seeing this, Achu steps forward, wears his specs, and delivers an inspiring speech, despite it only being 3 sentences. The crowd gets riled up, and they agree to fight with Robin against the tyrannical Prince of England. The next morning, all the men get dressed as Robin Hoods and start training. Robin and Will lead the training, but the men are so bad that they cannot even defeat some dummies. Meanwhile, at the castle, the sheriff invites an Italian mafia named Don Giovanni to assassinate Robin. Giovanni has come with his 2 associates, Dirty Ezio, a mute assassin, and Filthy Luca, a multiple-time gold medalist in archery. After a bit of chatting, the two come to a conclusion that they will lure Robin by organizing an archery competition in the palace, and Filthy Luca would defeat him in it. When the crowd turns against Robin and calls him a loser, Dirty Ezio will assassinate him secretly. The plan makes everyone excited, and even Dirty Ezio, who cannot speak a word, starts laughing.